Hello, my name is Terry White, Worldwide Design and Photography Evangelist for Adobe, and it's my pleasure to give you a first look at some new features in Adobe Comp CC on the iPad. So let's jump right in and take a look. I've got the Comp CC 1.1 update running here, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a new composition. Of course, you get some preset sizes or the ability to create a new format. I'll just use the iPad landscape for now. And now at this point, you can either use the tools at the top right, or you can tap on the left hand side and go into a drawing mode. So for example, if I want a large image across the canvas, I can just draw that placeholder there. If I want smaller images, I can draw those, or just placeholders or boxes if I want. That's great. And we'll draw one more. And the next thing I'll do is get out of drawing mode and start to fill some of this in. So I'll pick this up where it didn't quite fill the screen with my X. And we'll go ahead and do that. Now I'll go ahead and place one of the images that I want to use. And this time I'll get it from my CC libraries using Creative Sync. So here I've got the libraries open. I want to go to my Adobe Stock library where I can grab a stock photo. Now I've got that image coming in. That's great. And I noticed now that I've got the image in place, I wasn't really that good at drawing the actual frames here, or boxes that I'm going to use for content. Now, of course, I could delete the other two. This is what I would have done in the past. I would have deleted the other two and then duplicated the first one so that they're the exact same. But now, even no matter how I do this, I have the ability now, first of all, to do a multiple select. So I can tap and hold on any one of the frames. So like, for example, I'll hold my finger down on this one, and then with that one selected, I can go ahead and select the other two. So now they're all three selected at the same time. In addition to being able to multiple select, you'll notice the button in the bottom first button is now group. I can group them together. But more importantly, the second button is align. So not only is it align, so I'll align them to the lefts, but you'll notice that there's a match size, and this is great. So if I want to match both the height and the width, I can match the height and the width, and therefore now they're all identical. And last but not least, I'd want the spacing to be the same between them. That was one of my pet peeves. Even though we had smart guides in the previous version, there was no way to distribute the space evenly. So now I can just tap a button and get them all properly spaced apart. Now, while they're selected, I can still move them around as one, even though I haven't grouped them yet, but they do act as one unit. So that's great. Now let's go ahead and put some text in. I'm just going to grab, I can either use my type button here at the top, or I could use the gestures to draw a type frame. So I'm just going to use a headline. And now that I've got the headline here, let's go ahead and tap it, and let's move it in place. A couple of things here I want to go ahead and put in what my words are going to be. So let's get my keyboard up here. And we'll use the on-screen keyboard, and let's call this Lasting Love. All right, so now that we've got our Lasting Love text in, we can go ahead and of course adjust that frame to make that a little bit bigger so it fits. We can also make it much bigger and adjust the size just by using the on-screen control on the right-hand side to make it bigger. Now, of course, one of the things that we want to do right off the bat is change the font and the color. Those are some new areas of improvement in Comp CC. So first is, let's go to color. And in the past, I could use the color picker, I could use the themes, I could use colors that are saved in my library. Those all still work great. But if you need to put in specific values, now when you go to your RGB, you can actually put in specific values of RGB. So if you want to get the numbers just right, to get the color you're looking for, now it's that much easier to just do it. So once I get the color value I want, I can rest assured that that is the color that I've created, called Lasting Love. Okay, so no, that's not the name of the color, but that's the name. That's the RGB adjustment for the sliders. Now let's take a look at the fonts. Now we have better font preview before you actually commit to the font. So if I go ahead and look, I can see the fonts that I've already synced. If I want to add from Typekit, add additional fonts, I can now preview them. I can even type in my sample. So if I do, let's do Lasting Love in the sample here, and we can say done. And I can even now preview them with the Lasting Love text, so I know which one's going to look best. So I can see all fonts. I kind of like that little handwritten one there. So we'll sync that. And I will go back. I guess I should look at what that is. That's me. It's premium. It's one of the ones I've already been using. Or I kind of like this one too. So we'll go ahead and select that one and we'll sync it. So now we're using Typekit desktop fonts available here. And you can even see that it's synced on my desktop as well. And now I can use any one of these that I like, including the ones I just synced. I can remember their names, or ones that were already here. Let's go. That was one of the ones I used. Let's go ahead and try that one. And if I like it, great. I do like it. I would just like it a little bit bigger and maybe up in the clouds there. So those are just a few of the enhancements in Comp CC, just with this 1.1 update. As you can see, we can auto align, we can auto size, distribute the space. We can also, of course, use our RGB colors using the exact sliders, and all kinds. We can group multiple objects together, and of course, better font preview. And last but not least, as you always know, when you're using Comp, the best thing is that when you're done mocking up your design, you can send it to your desktop, either in InDesign format, Photoshop format, or Illustrator format. So let's send it to InDesign CC for 2015. We'll let it go ahead and build that out, which I see the little circle wheel up there in the iPad. And it's basically making an InDesign IDML file that will sync to Creative Cloud, sync back down to my desktop, and then open it in InDesign on the desktop. So I see that it's been sent, and we'll wait a few seconds for that to sync. And here it comes. So here's my fully editable document here in Adobe InDesign CC 2015, just as if I had created it from scratch in InDesign. So that's the beauty of Comp, is that you're not just mocking up designs that are kind of like a prototype and then you have to go rebuild it from scratch. You actually get all of the assets, everything you've done, synced using Creative Sync back to your desktop, and then opened up in whatever application you chose, Photoshop, Illustrator, or InDesign. So that's what's new in Comp CC for 2015. I invite you to check it out. It's available in the App Store today for iPad, and have fun. It's a free app to download. Take care.